What up? Big pinkies up on the coffee, not gonna lie. Oh, it is 11:24 p.m. on the West Coast. I need a shave. I need a shave. I haven't been able to do anything the way I want since this. I know I keep harping on it, but there's a reason. There's a reason. There is a reason. There we go. I'm always waiting for the YouTube chat to show up on the screen. That's why I always type test first, and there we go. It's working. So look, tomorrow, mañana, Monday, the 10th. Yo, what up, Ty? Ty got the notification today. He got that notification today, unless he just happened to be on YouTube already. It's finicky, but shout out Ty. Hell yeah. Tomorrow, I go to the doctor, and hopefully on day 164, I will have a different arm setup. This is long overdue. This is about 5 days over that I was supposed to wear it, but probably for the best because I was moving around a lot. So hopefully it did extra protection instead of like extra, I don't know, just too much, too much immobilization. So no, we should be good though. I think I did it right. In my packet it said don't wear the splint for too long, but when I went to another doctor, they're like, a couple days is gonna hurt you. So it is what it is. I'd rather do it the right way, go to a doctor. So that's my appointment. My appointment is in like literally 12 hours from now. It's at 11:20 a.m. tomorrow, so it's a little less than 12 hours tomorrow. So that should be a game changer, and that'll be exactly like 1 week until the Twitch suspension ends, assuming that it goes to plan. Hopefully they keep their word, and I'll be back in a week from tomorrow. But as of now, it's 8 days, 10 hours, 3 minutes, 33 seconds. Oh, man. So, I mean, with it being a little grateful Sunday, I guess I'm grateful for that. I don't like to count my chickens before they hatch too much, though, because, I don't know, shit doesn't always go to plan. Then it's like, oh yeah, actually keep this shit on for 2 more weeks, No, but I don't think that'll be my luck, because I feel like this would even be going into that other week, and this would be, it'd be damn near almost a month at that point. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm back. 163 days in a row of this streaming thing. I know it's not the people that say they stream, every day straight for, some people stream for 8 hours and stuff. Some, most of my streams are under, or 2 hours or under, 2 to 3 hours or under. But hey, it's about the consistency. And I have heard a thing like small streamers, don't even worry about streaming like 8 hours, 6 hours in the beginning, just because, why? Just try to get some concentrated streams and clip it. So that wasn't my plan. I think I just was like, shit, I got to get off this fucking computer. But it is interesting. My earliest stream were all 4 hours. And then it somehow averaged out into this nice, sweet 2 hour mark. But it just feels good. And I think I base that off of like podcasts and other shows that I watch, like especially like No Jumper. I feel like their shows are average at 2 hours. So I was like, okay, this is like a nice palatable amount. And I try to like think about like my stuff not from like what I want, but like if it wasn't me. So like if this wasn't me, would I watch a 4 hour stream, or would I be, or am I gonna be more up to watch a 2 hour stream? So I figure I'm more like apt to watch a 2 hour stream than a 4 hour. It just seems like intimidating, even if like it's a good 4 hour. Because usually like it is weird because like a good 4 hour stream, it seems like it's something. It's like, damn, well, he's on for 4 hours. This must be worth watching. But I think the psychology is still like, I don't know. I want to watch that whole shit. But I do encourage people, if I do ever have a 4 hour stream, I do not care if you watch it on 1.5 times, 2 times, 2.5. I don't think I talk super fast. So I think you could watch my shit at a faster speed just to get through it. I do believe that. And then just slow it down if it gets a little fast. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with that. Every single YouTube video I watch on at least 1.5 speed, and that's like the bottom. It's usually like closer to 2.5. If you don't have premium, I think you can only go up to 2, but my shit goes up to 4. So there's my shit. Sometimes if it's a long ass shit, I'm starting it on 4 and see if I can understand it, and I'll drop it down to 3.5, and I'll drop it down to 3, and then 2.5. You know. And then 2, but I'm usually good around 2. Like there was a time where I couldn't watch videos on 2 times speed. It just would blow my mind, but I had to like work up to it. I was like, it was like like 2 was like my max, and then sometimes I'd have to drop down to 1.75, and then it was like a nice sweet spot. 1.5 is like nothing to me. That might as well be regular, unless I'm playing like something that has music. That's like really the only time it's noticeable is 1.5. Yeah, so if I do ever have a 4 hour stream, please feel free to watch it at a faster playback speed, because I know I don't talk super fast like this. Maybe if I was talking fast like this, maybe you would have understood it, but I think I kind of take my time when I talk because I'm thinking. And that's what I realized too, like if you're ever watching something that's a long thing, put it on a fast speed. If it's the beginning, people are always talking fast in the beginning. But once it gets into it and people start thinking when they say words, their pace always slows down. So you can always watch anything in a faster frame rate. If that's on you. But it does, from my experience, it does take a while to kind of like build up your, not that long, but build up your brain to be able to process information that fast. But shit, I watch so much content that way. I also miss a lot of things too. So sometimes if I'm watching something too fast, I do have to rewind it. But, you know, being able to bang out like a 2 hour episode in an hour is nice. Or like if you put it on like 2.5 or 3, like it comes out to like 45 minutes sometimes. That's nice, you know, because you still get to get all the moments. So I'm not mad if anybody watches my shit. Some people might be offended by that, but I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you just click my video just to give it the view. Like I'm cool with that shit too. So it's not even that deep. But again, about 1 week until I'm back on the purple platform that begins with a T and rhymes with bitch. Yeah, you heard me. Shout out Dan Clancy. Is that his name, Dan Clancy? Anyway, I am. I'm grateful. I'm trying to be grateful. I was really struggling for the past couple of days to quiet my mind down enough just to be able to reflect on like where I went wrong, what I could do better, what I can do in the future. And I'm still working on it, bro. Like it's so hard for me to like, I don't know what the fuck happened to me. Like, I don't know if it was the at TwitchCon or before, but even I swear at TwitchCon, like I swear I prayed, like, yo, let me just have a good stream. I swear, but maybe it was like right before. I can't remember. But I've been fucking far, man. I've been far off my square, and it's a lot of things that are contributing. I know it. It's kind of like one negative thing just kind of like open up the floodgates for everything, and then while you're trying to deal with these floodgates being open, it brings in more opportunity for more negative. And that's where I really think I was, and maybe still partly am. And I notice it when I start like snapping on people, and when I start being negative and shit starts going wrong around me and everything just piles up. I don't know what it is, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's like me being too optimistic can hurt me as well, where I'm like, oh, this will work out, or but I'm not actually doing the work. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're spending money you don't have, like, oh, it'll work out. It might be optimistic, but it sometimes has negative consequences that are hard to overcome. So it's really like analyzing what is actually positive and what's negative. Sometimes doing something negative, like being negative, can sometimes be positive in a way. If it's like, if someone's like, yo, I don't know, I want to go to, I don't know, I want to go to this concert. The tickets are only $400. You could be optimistic and be like, hell yeah, I want to go to that concert. We'll figure it out. Or you could be negative and be like, hey, I really can't afford that right now because of this. And that might have, and you being negative in that moment might have more positive consequences or whatever results for later. It might have more positive results. So I don't know. It's that weird balance of like, is something negative words or reaction, or like what's the actual thing? Because you could be really positive about drinking and driving, but it doesn't mean that it's a good idea. Now maybe the optimism comes in, okay, I'm not going to get caught, but even that is like, I don't know, kind of like some weird overconfidence type of thing. So it's I don't know. It's tricky. It's a tricky thing to navigate because sometimes I get told that I'm being negative, but sometimes I'm just being real, like being like, no, this is probably what's going to happen. You know, just based off of not like what I want to happen or how I feel, but just realistically, what's the probability of this? You know what I'm saying? And people don't really want to listen until you're right. So that's something I've been dealing with because I have been in the position where something things like seems like it's gonna be negative. You just have positive thoughts and it does work out. But then there's sometimes shit that like happens after. That's it's like that same concert. Like, oh, yo, do you want to go to this concert? And you're like, I don't. Okay, yeah, let's do it. And in the back of your mind, you know, you can't afford it, but you just somehow make it work. You scrounge up the money and you go. And then you're there at the concert and you're with your friend. And you're like, oh yeah, are you glad we went? It worked out. And you're like, yeah, yeah, it is great. And then like a week later, you like feel the effects of like you shouldn't have spent that money. And it's like too late. You're already removed from the concert, everything. You still have that, but then you still have to deal with that, the things that came with it after. And the other person that was trying to convince you is they're gone. They have nothing to do with it, and you're still stuck to deal with that. So that's kind of like a lot of shit that I've been going through, where it's like sometimes I have the foresight, but then I'll be like optimistic to make it happen, and then you almost forget, and then the consequences come back up, and you're like, damn it, I forgot about this. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get blinded by the optimism too. So I don't know. It's definitely a balance. That's why some people are realists because it's somewhere in the middle. And I feel like sometimes realists get a bad rap because sometimes you have to say no. Damn, I didn't reset my router. Hopefully it's good. Fuck. But anyway, sometimes as a realist you have to say no, and that can come off as being negative. And no one wants to hear that shit. But sometimes you just gotta protect, especially if you have an instinct of like literally. Sometimes it's simple math. Like if I spend this money, I will not have money for this. And if I don't have any plan to make any other money in between, what is my plan? You know, and sometimes you can get lucky. Sometimes you get a random check in the mail. Sometimes someone will offer you a little job or a gig that'll do it. Sometimes whatever, I don't know. But to me, it's rare. But it is possible. I've seen miracles, but it's a lot of work being optimistic and positive all the time. I'm not gonna lie, and that sounds like a very pessimistic thing to say, but it really is. It's a lot of work to be optimistic all the time. It takes because everything, when you're fighting against things like logic and reason, it's hard because that's just how the universe works, is logic and reason. And that's why I do think some people do make it because they take risks. I don't know. I've never been like a big risk. I take a lot of risks, don't get me wrong, but like I only take risks when I need to though. Some people live their life taking risks, and I can never understand that. It's like, why would you take a risk when you don't need to? Just for, but you know. Sometimes that is the difference. But I do think you still have to pay for some of those risks and shit. Like when you charge shit to life, sometimes that shit comes back and you got to pay it back. And some people are okay with that. Some people don't think about it. But it is what it is. But either way, the trick that I found, or trick or whatever, or just the notion, the way I found is that being grateful is the key, good or bad. You know, good or bad. Being grateful, I don't know. It just puts your mind into a whole other place. It definitely helps to force some of the optimism, and sometimes it's good to force optimism. You know, especially gratitude. Like, yeah, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And I feel like I already did like an episode like this where I was like trying to find the best in this situation. You know, being suspended off Twitch. What am I grateful for about that? Yeah, not much. You know, I'm not gonna lie, but and I think it goes into that category of the unknown, the unseen, the whatever. You know what I mean? Thanks for the like. I think that was Ty that liked the post, the YouTube live. I think, I don't know, if I had to guess, maybe the actual ban from Twitch, maybe I would have did something that would have been worse. Just not thinking like, oh, I'm not a big streamer. They don't know what I'm doing. And maybe I would have got permanently banned or something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I would have just crossed the line like at TwitchCon or post TwitchCon. You never know. It could have been like some shit where people are around LA and I just did something. To keep it a buck, I don't even know if I can stream snipe. Like when I come back, I don't know if that's why they got me. I have no idea. I don't even know if I stream snipe again, am I going to get suspended again? I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, since that's on the radar, do I have to like label shit differently? Because when I come back to Twitch, I'm curious. I want to look through my content because they said they might delete some of the content. So I'll be curious to see. Obviously, all my VODs are going to be gone. I don't know if my highlights will be still there or not. I don't know if those will be deleted. I don't know if it's my clips when I type in stream sniping this person. I don't know. I don't know. Because a lot of people that stream snipe, they're not streaming. They're just people that aren't streaming. And it's becoming more and more popular to stream snipe people, but I don't know. I don't know if I have to do it a different way. Don't label it that way. If I have to make it come across as this is not a stream. I don't know. But so it could be protection. It could also be a thing like, bro, you can't stream snipe forever. You have to think of something else. And that's one thing I haven't thought of. With 8 days left, I have not thought about how I will pivot, how I will reinvent. I have no idea yet. Literally, like, I haven't been able to quite, you know what I'm saying? It's like I was in such a groove where the ideas, I was struggling a little bit, but the ideas were coming. But I was relying on the stream snipe, though. I was relying on that. Like, that was, everything came back to that. That was my main ambition, my main goal. I needed the stream snipe. I was with the IRLs or whatever. I need a good IRL, but the stream snipes were like, once it started moving, when we were getting all those in a row, after, you know, the first two, that actual like month or whatever, or 2 months, we were just getting them back to back to back. To me, I felt like that was my plan, my way in. So, I don't know. Maybe it's the universe, God, whatever, testing me like, yo, you can do better. You can do better than this. You can figure something else out. Because you can't rely on that. And because it's not sustainable fully. You know what I'm saying? It's a method to gain some attention, but like, is it forever? I mean, you know, and even I would say it's not forever because I was like, okay, I'm kind of running out of people to stream snipe. You know what I mean? So now, is that the reason for all this? I don't know. I don't know. But I have to look at it as some sort of protection from something greater. And then the arm thing, I think it's all one and the same. It does seem a little extreme. You know what I'm saying? It does seem a little extreme for like what I was doing in the lesson. But I don't know. Maybe I just had an unstoppable energy force where I was like, I just needed to physically be stopped, as opposed to, no, you shouldn't do this or this and that. What do you think of this? Maybe I just needed to, because it worked. It slowed me the fuck down. I'm not gonna lie. It slowed me down so much. It slowed me down in so many ways. It slowed me down. It slowed my mind down. It slowed my energy down. It slowed my transportation down. It just slowed everything. It slowed my resources down. It really forced me to sit on my ass at home. I'm not gonna lie. Even though we got some IRLs, even though I traveled, even though I try to be as independent as I can, despite injuries or whatever, it still slowed me down, bro. I was going at a fucking 10, and it literally slowed me down to a 5 easily. I don't want to say like completely slowed me down, because I still feel like I have my own motion and motivation, but like even to go from a 5 to maybe I'll call it a 6. I'll call it a 6. I'll be a little kinder to myself. But even going from like a 10 to a 6 is not the same. A 6 ain't it, bro. That's a D. Or the 10 is the A. So you always got to slow down at some point, and that's what I wasn't doing. Even though I was, because there would be slow moments, and these desktops would be me slowing down. But maybe I needed to get my desktops up to a 10, and I don't even know if I did that. I think maybe I don't even know if my desktops improved, because I still, even thematically, like I was still putting in more work. But it's also because like the numbers, it's like, what do I do on 163? Like, I don't know, maybe I could have did some like King Vaughn reference. Fuck that nigga, he from 63rd or some shit like that. I don't know. But it is what it is. So I'm grateful. I'm always just grateful. My main thing though, if you ever can't find gratitude or a reason to be grateful for something, especially when shit is really, really bad, just always think, look, if you're able to like think about it and reflect on it, shit, it could be worse, right? That's a great thing to be grateful for, is that it could be worse. Even when it's really, really bad, just always remember that like shit could be worse. You know what I'm saying? Always. Always. Even in your darkest moment, shit could, if you can conceptualize what's happening, it could be worse. Because you could not be conceptualizing it. You could be brain dead. You could have amnesia. There's so many things. You could be actually deceased, like anything. Like, so, you know, there's gratitude in everything. I always do like to reflect on Sundays. You might say, hey, it's Sunday. You just pull up a graphic and it's a talking point. It is a talking point, but it's kind of one of those things where it kind of just like forces me to do it, unless I have some random IRL on a Sunday, which does happen too. And maybe that's where I was maybe losing myself a little bit, was skipping some of these grateful Sundays. I was fucking with Digital Nas. He was doing, I don't know if he's done it anymore. Maybe he still does in IRL, but not on a stream. He would do his like, I forgot what he called it now. First service, Sunday service. No, that was Kanye shit. But he had a similar thing. It was just kind of like where he would kind of IRL and do kind of like a, yeah, just like a religious or a God-based church type of thing, but just on some edgy streamer shit, but in real life, just talking to people. So, I don't know, man. Don't forget the gratitude part. It'll take you far. In shorter news, I tried the steak nuggets from Arby's. Steak nuggets. I did not try them on stream. I was gonna, but it just was doing too much. Today was almost a very quick, like 30-minute IRL trying the steak nuggets. Low key, I don't recommend. Maybe for content, but I will say like this, they were worse than I expected. Yeah, dead ass. The steak nuggets at Arby's were worse than I expected. I give them a, here, let's pull up a picture of it. I can't find it. The biggest, the largest. Okay, so look. So first off, they don't look anything like this. Let's start with that. This a picture like this, I was like, I gotta try that because I've been on kind of a steak kick. I've been trying to like eat steak and shit, like protein up while I'm going through this injury. I'm like, damn, this will probably help me, you know, some good protein, help me build some muscle, low key, while I'm not really moving a lot. For the record, they look nothing like this. Not even close. I don't know what this is a picture of or where these people got this shit from. Let me see if I can find an accurate picture of what it looked. Even like this, it did not look like this. It was like it was in liquid. It does not look like this. You're beautiful like diamonds in the sky. I should have took an actual picture. I'm dumb for that, but I was just kind of like ready to eat them. Honestly, like, damn, let me find like I can't even find an accurate picture. Maybe we got a bad batch, but these shits were ASS. In a world of gas versus ass, they were definitely the second choice. Yeah, they were so bad. And like usually, like I'm not even like. I'm not even like a food snob like that, but these shits were fucking disgusting. They weren't disgusting. They were disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. They weren't disgusting. They just weren't good. Ah, man, I wish I could find a better picture. Whatever. So they were. How do I describe it? Someone online described it as like wet beef jerky, and I would say that's the closest description I could come to. It's like you know you have beef jerky, it's like dried out. It's like the step right before beef jerky. That's exactly what it tasted like. It had the exact flavor. It was just a little softer than beef jerky. So they weren't terrible. It was kind of giving like school lunch vibes. Like if you had this at school lunch, this is what it would taste like. Also, kind of like if you ever been to a gas station and they have like the little food, like the chicken sandwiches or like the burgers. It was like that quality. It was like microwavable. It was really bad. I'm not gonna lie. Like out of 10, I would give it a 4. I don't even think it's a 5. Maybe 4.5. It's real. There was really nothing redeeming about it. Like I dipped it in the barbecue sauce and it tasted. It probably went up to a 4.5 with the barbecue sauce, but it wasn't. It wasn't really. The barbecue sauce is necessary. Them alone was gross, and I was like, damn, people are just snobby like this. Because you know how people are with their steak, right? Like I'm a well done ass nigga. Like I like well done steak. I don't like pink steak. I don't want it. I want my shit well done. I'm not saying I want it dry and leathery. I just want it brown. Pause. I want it browning and in my mind cooked. There's ways you can make juicy well done. There's ways you can do it. That's what I thought I was gonna be, like some like well done and people just being snobby online like, oh, this isn't steak. Da, 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 da. No, this shit was ass. I was so disappointed. But I thought it would be a little bit better for all the hype that they did. Would I get these again? No. No, I wouldn't go out of my way to get them again at all. Would I eat it again? No, probably not. Honestly, like I wasn't like disgusted. I finished it, but it was just yeah, it was like school cafeteria food. Like it was kind of like trying to think of what it was like. I should have did it live so I could like tell you exactly what it was like. But again, beef jerky, and I like maybe because I like beef jerky that it was okay. Like if you don't like beef jerky, don't try these. But yeah, literally all the bad reviews that I've read about them are accurate. And the people saying, "Oh, it's not that bad," I don't know, bro. Like I have very low food standards, and these shits were ass. I'm a picky eater, but I also have low food standards. I'll eat McDonald's, I'll eat Taco Bell. Ass. Ass. Probably one of the worst food challenges I've ever had. Like, I don't know. It's not even to shit on it. It's just objectively true. I suggest that everybody tries the Arby's steak nuggets. I don't suggest it like if you don't want to waste your time or money, don't try it. But if you want to see what I'm talking about, try it. I got the 9-piece. You don't even have to do that. Try the smaller one. And some people might like it. Maybe like if you go to like the right place, we should try it at find like the go to like a really nice area. Want to see if they're different because fast food does vary depending on where you go. I remember having McDonald's like in a fucking rich area, and I was like, "What the fuck? Like, how? What the hell?" Like, I got like a fish fillet. Like, the bun was like perfect. It was like had like oil. It was like shiny. Like the fries were fresh. I was like, "Damn!" So this is a choice. They really don't care in the hood. I was surprised at how different McDonald's was, just in like a slightly richer area. So maybe we could do an IRL with the Arby's nuggets. It just I don't know. I don't even know if they have Arby's in like higher areas. I don't even know if that's a thing. You know. By the way, I did take a nap earlier. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I've been taking naps at 5 p.m. and waking up at 11. That's crazy. My naps are longer than my actual like at night sleep. I don't know what the fuck my energy's going. I don't know. Maybe it's I think it might be the ganja, but I'm gonna try to once I run out of this bud, I'm gonna try to not smoke for well, I'll try, but I always fail. I never go more than a day. I'm not gonna lie, I just get like antsy. I'm like, damn, I gotta get some weed. Bad habit, but I'm probably not gonna do it this week though, so I can like kind of catch up because shit. How you sleep and you broke all the weed that you smoked low key? Could have did it on your own, nigga. The last part was about me. Yeah.
I'm trying to take accountability.
Yeah, I could be so great with my abilities. I need to stop complaining about the little things. Dead ass. You know, ooh. Yeah. Sometimes I make little things in my life, like songs like accountability, that are little messages to myself, and then when I reflect on them, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it is. I forgot. You know what I mean? That was the point of that song. That's why I was doing good, because I was taking accountability. And then somewhere along the lines, I think I lost that. Although I don't think I ever stopped taking accountability, but maybe sometimes we just start justifying our bad decisions, which is not taking accountability. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Yeah. How you sleep when you broke all the weed that you smoked low key? Could have did it on your own, nigga. The last part was about me. Yeah, I'm trying to take accountability. So yeah, I mean, if I calculated how much, although I don't really spend as much as you would think on weed, at this rate, I would probably only spend. I think I had this. No, I got this one when I got back. But it's been almost a month, like, of this one. So, if I smoke an ounce a month, that's not that crazy. $60 ounce, $20 a week, it's not that crazy. But that does add up, though. Only in LA. But I think some of this shit is making me tired, because I just be getting tired. It's like between like the itis and tired, and maybe, I don't know. It is what it is. But I was never a nap taker. I've never taken so many naps as I have in this past month. Never. But I usually never had like shit to do at like 11 p.m. like this every day. So that's also different. This would be like my normal. I might like pass out around 11, 12. but to have to like get up and do something and be alert from like 11 to 11, 12, 1 a.m. That's new for me. So it could be a combination of that. I still wake up fairly early. Well, not actually, no, I don't wake up early at all. I used to wake up at like 6 every day, and now I wake up more like 9. So that's different. But that's not bad though. Like 2 a.m. to like 9, 7 hours. Yeah, it's kind of average. That's kind of normal. So it. I know that these things are adding up. These late nights are adding up. But yeah, I am grateful for opportunities. Like, I'm grateful to be in LA. I'm grateful to be able to kind of like bump my head, but still be around to be inspired. Even though like I can't wait to start driving again, man. I can't wait to start driving again. But yeah, we got that appointment tomorrow. Hopefully that'll give me the green light to be able to hop in my whip again and kind of take control back of my life. But I am grateful for the support through this. Shout out Monique. Shout out my parents. Just shout out friends in general that checked on me and you know that just checked on me and understood. Because I'm not like a get hurt injury type of dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a get sick, be in the hospital type of dude. So if somebody sees me injured, it's like, damn, you must really be fucked up because that's not even your like style. Some people they'll like fucking get a scratch and be like, oh, I got a scratch, I can't do that. I'm like, nah, man. So I'm grateful for that. You know what I'm saying? It's all surreal though. Like it's all surreal. It's a huge distraction for me, and that's the thing. Like I'm grateful. Ty said, yo, literally this second Nick Cannon followed me from one of my reels. Oh shit, which one? Which reel was that? That's what's up though. Your shit's getting out there. Nick Cannon's a fucking legend. That's a good person to have on your radar because Nick does a lot of different shit. You never know. He might be trying to start like a clip page because he's all about content and comedy and shit. So you never know. It doesn't say had to. Oh, I see. It doesn't say it had to be a Ray J reel. Oh, it said like followed you from your post. That's what's up. Yeah, that would make sense. Ray J would definitely probably be on Nick's radar. Damn, and that's crazy. A follow too. It's like he doesn't have to do that, but you do have a good clip page that's like consistent and definitely worth a follow if you want to like keep up with shit, especially in the streamer world. Actually, yeah, your page is really good for that because you report on the current shit, and a lot of people don't have time to watch streams, so definitely keep going with that because that's definitely turning into something for sure. That means it's getting out there, and it means it's a valuable resource for that, especially in this world where a lot of people don't have time to watch streams. Hell yeah. Shout out Nick Cannon. Shout out Nick Cannon. I've been trying to there was a time where I was trying to really manifest the whole Nick Cannon thing just because of like how close it is. Like because I would like see like that's like one of like my original stream snipe, not an actual stream snipe, but on like a just like, oh, this is right over here. Like this must be in like Burbank or like this area. And Nick Cannon seems like he gives people opportunities too. I've heard that he's just like super down to earth despite being like Nick Cannon. Definitely, that's definitely a sign to keep going. That the page is. Again, you never know. You never know. You never know. Cause I could see him. Nick Cannon does a lot of shit where I could see. Does he not have a clip page? He probably does. He probably does have a clip page already too. That's just like some old. I remember he had like that one like podcast or show that he was doing. I forgot what it was called now, and they probably still do it. But Nick Cannon does a lot of shit. I don't know how he does all the shit he does. Wilding Out, the Masked Singer. Is he still on America's Got Talent too? I don't know if he's still. No, he might not be there anymore. No, he left that to do Masked Singer. That's what's up. W Ty. W consistency too. That does make sense for it to be the Ray J thing. That's like the same generation. But you never know. It could be from something else too. But if that's your most current reel, probably. W. 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 Let's see what Nick Cannon is up to. Yeah, Nick Cannon does a lot of shit. I wouldn't be surprised if Nick Cannon started streaming. It's definitely the wave. People are definitely seeing the wave of it. And it's interesting seeing like the people that like appreciate streaming for different reasons. Like it's definitely a wave. It's an undeniable wave. If you understand content and you understand media, I don't see how you don't see the value in streaming. But it is interesting to see how people like are like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and then they jump into it and they're like, what is this? This is, you know what I mean? I think Nick Cannon would be perfect for it. I think he could do anything. It is interesting though that once people jump into it and put all this into it, and then it's just like did Justin Bieber stop streaming? I was trying to figure that out because he was supposed to be streaming every day, and then I don't know if he got backlash or people were like whatever about it, but I don't know if he stopped or if he just turned into like semi-regular streaming because he put a lot into that shit. The whole setup with the big ass screen and all the people and shit. But I remember people not necessarily taking to it too much, but it's like he has so many fans, he can make that shit work. I haven't seen him but that one time. That's what I'm saying, bro. So much potential. You have the biggest fan base built in. You could easily be beating Kai if you just, all you had to do was talk to the chat and answer some fucking awkward questions and address the chat, and he would have been probably the biggest streamer like that. Just off fan base alone. Same thing with Drake. Maybe not Drake as much because of, Drake would have still did it too. You know, Drake had a slight stain on him, so that would have probably held him back. But if Drake would have just leaned into it more and talked to the chat more, Drake could have been the biggest streamer by far. By far. Any of these people. But I think a lot of people don't like to, and I understand because once you reach a certain point, like, you probably don't even want to engage directly with, like, trolls and shit because trolls know how to fucking say crazy shit to you. Trolls will say anything. My bad. So I get it. You know what I mean? Trolls will say the craziest shit. And they probably are saying shit, and they're like, damn, they're already saying this shit before we even go live. Like, what the fuck? Like, I can't talk about this. So, shit. I don't know, though. If I'm at that level, Drake or Justin, I'm having my team put up the crazy filters in the mod settings, AI settings. I'm getting a crazy mod. But you might not even know to do this shit if you're just jumping in. You know what I'm saying? And we're just rocking, you know? Putting it on subscriber only chat or follower only chat and going from there. So Justin Bieber only streamed one day? I thought he did at least 2 days. That's crazy. It's not even funny. It's just like, I think streaming sounds good in theory, but it's like one thing to watch the streams. I don't think you can become a streamer without like watching streams for like a couple months, like almost, or like 6 months to like couple months to like 6 months to like a year of just like being a general fan, like an actual fan, not just like watching your favorite person who's big. Like, I don't think just watching Kai streams is enough to become a streamer. I think you got to watch like the biggest streamers, and you got to watch smaller streamers too. Not even necessarily smaller streamers, but smaller than Kai, and like just seeing everything, watching IRLs, watching desktops. You know, don't just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think you have to really become a fan of the craft before you even jump in. And a big part of the craft is the chat. That's why I think Ray J is emphasizing the chat so much, because it's so true. It's so true. It's all about the chat. It doesn't have to be, but at this point in time, it just is. That's what made me want to stream. I just wanted to say chat, 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 chat. I wanted to say that because it just sounds, I don't know, it just sounds cool to me when people say chat. I don't know why. That was my only goal with streaming, is to be able to say chat and it not just be me faking. You know what I'm saying? That was my only goal with it, to have some chat on the screen. Literally was have chat on the screen and say chat, 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 chat. That's all I wanted. You know, and I didn't care about view count, how many people are talking, as long as there's little text on the screen, and I can say chat, and yeah, that's honestly it. That's honestly it. The only thing, and that's really the fundamental of it. So I could see some big streamer, some stream teams, stream management teams popping up to like help people become streamers, stars become streamers, because I think there is it's not really like a learning curve. You just have to love it. Like, and I think you have to practice and love it and obsess over it and think about it when you're not streaming and thinking about how you can get better. If you're just, or just, you know, be super popular, have good personality and just do it for the check, I think that's fine too. But I think people will see through that, because the chat, the viewers, they're smart. They have high standards. It's why people can appreciate a small streamer. It's not really about popularity or fame. No one like I feel like the streamer community is like too real for that shit. Now, can a Justin Bieber, and this is no Justin Bieber slander, I think he can do whatever. Can a Justin Bieber bring 1 million followers over that have nothing to do with Twitch and watch him, plus the people that are already on there? Of course. But the people that have nothing to do with streaming that you're bringing over, they might not even know how to interact in that world, so it might not translate. But they quickly will, especially the ones that are real fans, that if he's like directly saying their name and, oh, shout out Johnny 101 with the 5, like, that's crazy. That's because you're giving people value. You're giving people something that's valuable. Like, oh, Justin Bieber said my name over for 5 gifted for $25. That's crazy. I'm tuning in. I'm going to keep chatting. I want another one of those moments. I want another clip, and it's going to inspire other people. And I think that's the key. People want to hear their name. People want to feel special. People just don't want to watch. They will, but that's kind of what social media is for. That's what YouTube is for. That's what makes streaming so different and unique, is that interaction, that chance that you could say something in the chat. Now, saying something in Justin Bieber's chat may not be the most effective because it's probably flooded, but fuck it, try it, you know? He can put his shit on slow mode. He can put subscriber only, emote only, follower only. He can do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, it is interesting though. You really gotta love it. You really gotta love it. I've been wanting to do like shows like this for years. So for me, it's like, it's not even about streaming. It's just about the platform, you know? And I love this art form because you don't have to edit. And when you do edit, it comes out better. You can just, I could put this up, put a thumbnail on it, put some titles, descriptions, and it's a piece. So if there's mistakes, things that would be edited out, it's forgiven because it's a stream. There's not a lot of things like that. You know, maybe radio, or I guess a podcast falls into that category, but even a podcast is going to be edited sometimes. This is like, you get what you get, and the audience understands, and it just is what it is. That's the cool part about it. It's like going to see, streaming is like doing a live show. Whatever happens, happens. Except way less pressure than a live show. I mean, it can be more pressure depending on what you're doing. But, you know, a simple desktop stream is no pressure. You mess up, okay. Let me rewind, do it again. You know, it's no, it's not a big deal. You know, so I will be curious to see. I think there's going to be a lot more streaming in the future. I think it's going to, I think there's going to be the long form, but I think even just like doing like hour, 2 hour, maybe even half-hour streams will just be normal. And it's nothing new. People have been going on IG Live for years. Somehow that doesn't feel like streaming, even though it's the same exact thing. I don't know why it feels different on IG Live. I don't know why. It just doesn't feel like, even like TikTok Live, it doesn't feel like streaming, even though it literally is the same exact shit. It's the platform. It's the platform. But yeah, I'll be curious to see who else jumps into it. It is very interesting who, I'm trying to think of who's recently jumped into it that's been like really consistent with it, especially like on the artist level, and it's really not a lot of people. There's very few artists that are like super consistent with streaming. And I can understand it's just, it takes time, but I'm like, shit, like if I had like budget and I could like just hire somebody, you know, it's like I don't see how you wouldn't just at least stream like the shit, all the shit outside the music. Like, okay, this is before we go to the studio. This is before we start recording. If you don't want to leak shit, and I don't know, but it is interesting though. I do recognize that like it's not for everybody necessarily up front. It does take a certain sort of personality type to love this. Some people might say people that stream are narcissists. So I've heard that. I don't think that's true at all. I think it can be true, but I also think you'll know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it is kind of like, in a way, self-centered a little bit. But I don't see it any different than being a vlogger or being a podcaster or being an artist, being a influencer, being a content creator. I don't see it any different at all. It's the same shit to me. It's like you're putting yourself out there for attention, likes, whatever, promotion. It's the same thing. It's just a long form version of it. But I don't know. I do get confused. I'm not confused as why people don't like it, but I am a little confused as to why people are so afraid or against it. Like, so afraid. I get it, though. It's like you're putting yourself out there if you mess up. I guess I just never had that fear of, not failure. Of course, we all fear failure, but I've never, of course, I felt I don't want to look stupid, but it's kind of like people are going to think you're stupid no matter what you do. Like, so, like, just don't say anything stupid or try not to, you know. Of course, I say dumb shit on here all the time. Maybe it's one of those things where I'm being naive. Like, it's kind of, remember like when Twitter started, and where Twitter was kind of that place where you would just go to just get your shit off, pause, like just talk shit. That's why so many people are canceled, because Twitter, it was literally like, not marketed like that, but that was kind of like the general idea. Okay, I'm not going to post this on my Facebook. I'm not going to post this on my Instagram, but I'm going to say some crazy shit and post it on Twitter because nobody cares. And then years later, people were pulling up old tweets and demolishing people. So maybe that's what streaming will be. Like, yeah, remember this stream you did? Yeah, I was able to find it easily because of keywords. I don't know. That could be a thing. I do think about that from time to time. But we also have the brain of like, okay, this could come back. I don't know. We also live in like the stand on it era. I mean, just don't say anything like too crazy. I guess you'll probably be all right. Like, and there are certain things that you just shouldn't say, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know where the world is going, because I don't know, because I would have thought we would keep progressing to this. And I don't like to use the word woke in a negative way. I don't like when people do that, but like, we're progressing more to this more woke culture. But then I'm seeing things where it's saying like, gay marriage may have some of its like rights removed, and I was like, oh, that's very interesting. That's very. I didn't see that coming. I would have thought we would have been keep progressing towards more of that stuff. So I'm like, damn, like, are we gonna unwoke like at a certain point? Because you know you think like once certain something starts, it's only gonna like turn into more. But like, it seems like there's some resistance that way. So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Like, who will be the next president? You know, how will that affect the next thing? That's the crazy part. We have no idea. Like, how long is Trump president for? For a year, one more year after this? And technically, I think he can do an extra something like that. He can do like another year or something. So you can do like, I forgot how it went. You can do like 5 years. There's some extra shit where you can do like another term or something when it's like as long as your terms aren't like back to back or something. I don't know. I gotta look that one up again. But it's some shit. There's some loophole, and it's only like happened like once or something, where like you can do. It's either like 5 or 6 years as opposed to like the normal 4. Or no, it'd be. No, sorry. A term is 4 years. Wait. Yeah, a term is 4 years. So what? He would get another 4 years, but it's like some other shit where you can do more than the normal amount, basically. So we'll see if that happens, and if not, it's like, well, what's gonna happen, you know, and how will that affect things? Because there's so much that's like reliant on the president, and there's so much that's reliant not on the president. People just come up with ideas and do shit like, that has nothing to do with anything. So I'll be curious to see where the world goes after this, how people are feeling, what people have decided to do, what trends, what ideas. Because you know you're not going to get rid of this shit that people have worked so hard for. So it could be like, yeah, maybe it's not legal, but there might be some unrest about that, and that could be like a whole other new problem or issue or thing that people have to deal with. I don't know. You know, like, will there be terrorism based off of like woke terrorism? You know what I mean? Like, you know, something we haven't dealt with yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds financially, socially. I have no idea. I did hear that we might be getting another stimmy though. I heard there might be another stimmy, another 2,000 coming out. That'll be nice. I could use an extra 2,000. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my God, I could use another 2,000. I could use that 2,000. Send those stimmies out, my guy. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind that an extra 2,000. That'd be helpful. It's gonna be one of those things where people are gonna be like, "What the fuck am I gonna do with 2,000?" But shit, I'll take it. You know, people can always complained about the stimmy until they got it, and then it's like, okay, send some more. So we are definitely due for a stimulus check ASAP. I'll be ready and waiting. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know. And I meant to like touch on this more the other night. Like, they're removing food stamps and shit, and I'm sure that will trickle down to other things. It could be Medicare. It could be just any government assistance. It could be Section 8 housing. It could be what else do people be giving people? Anything. It could trickle down to all that. All that shit could go away. So then it's like, I don't understand how that's sustainable, because just as a same, because it's like, okay, we're gonna take away all these things, and people just need to go get jobs, but we're also living in the same world where a significant amount of jobs are being dropped because of AI and technology. You go to the grocery store, there used to be 10 cashiers, and then somewhere it became 6 cashiers, and then it became 5. Now it's 2, if you're lucky. Sometimes it's just 1, and it's a whole lot of checkout. They have self-checkout at Costco. They have self-checkout at CVS now. Where did I see some crazy ass self checkout the other day? They even have self checkout when you go to the airport inside the little shop now. I've seen wow, so they're gonna have like self checkout everywhere. I seen and this is kind of, they have these in like Japan and stuff like that. I saw one recently around my house. It's like I don't know what you call it. It's kind of like a little convenience store stand, but it's all like self serve. But it's like a freestanding building. There's no one there. So if they're having all that, if they're introducing Waymos, self-driving Ubers, if they're introducing, I mean, AI is replacing jobs already. If they're introducing, they're bringing robots that you bring into your house to clean. I don't know what jobs people are supposed to go get. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. Not everyone can work at fucking McDonald's. Not everybody can work at Target. Not everybody can work at Walmart. They're not even. You can't even get a job at one of these places. You think you can, but they're not really hiring like that. They're not really. There's so much competition even for those type of jobs that it's like, even if you're like, I want to go work at Pizza Hut, you might not get the job. You just really might not. You might, you know, you might, and maybe if you're in a busy area, maybe like LA, you might. But even still, it's just fucking hard, bro. And are you making enough to actually sustain? You know what I mean? Like, how much money do they pay at Wendy's? It might be a little minimum wage here. It might be like 20 an hour here. But is that enough? Is that enough to actually get a apartment and live? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I really have no idea. So I don't know how people. Shout out to 1 hour. We've been online for an hour. That's what's up. Yep. City bitch. Yep. City bitch. I don't know what people are supposed to do. I don't know. Even like food delivery, like that's not enough to like sustain. It can be okay, but it's not enough to sustain. Especially they're building food delivery robots. They're building. It's not for no reason. Why are they doing that? Because they don't want to pay your ass. That is plain and simple. They don't want to pay you. They go, okay, we're putting out too much money. These drivers are taking too much percentage, even though they're taking way too much percentage of what we're making. You know, they're gonna replace it. They're even making AI. They're even making AI music artists. That is not a novelty thing. That is gonna be a thing. Imagine you make an AI music artist. Imagine a real regular music artist. So you have to pay. So just say you're a label. You have to just say you buy songs and you have artists sing them. So now you have to pay the songwriter. You have to pay the producer. You have to pay the artist. With the artist, you have to pay for videos. You have to pay for styling. You have to pay for hair, makeup, if it's a female artist or whatever. When they travel, you have to pay for lodging. You know? You have to pay for all this shit. They have to eat. They have to sleep. Now, if you have an AI artist, now, of course, like, people make a lot of money doing live shows, but even that, people are okay with seeing digital holograms of, maybe not in America yet, but digital holograms of artists, and they're okay with that. If anything, it's more novelty and people like it, and you can do more with it. And it's probably consistent, and they can't mess up, and they can't be late. So now when you don't have to pay for any of that shit, and it's just, you're just duplicating shit, and why not? Why wouldn't music become all AI? Especially if it's good. And it's getting good. I'm not gonna lie, it's getting good. There's gonna be AI streamers, AI VTubers that probably look like cartoons at first, and they look like 3D, then they look realistic, and you know, imagine when it can just like interact directly with the chat. What's the difference? I mean, there's a big difference, but I don't know. Maybe there'll be an AI president. I don't know. AI CEOs that are just smarter than human. I don't know. I don't know. And it's like I try to rack my brains And you look up ideas like with ChatGPT, like how can I make money in 2025? And it's always some like shit that just seems like, how is that gonna work? Or like, how do I do that? Like, how do I start a small business? Like, find it. It's like find a need in your area and address that. And of course, that could work, but it's often something that you have to have some sort of significant investment in. Yeah, all you need is about 5 grand and an email list of 100 people, 1,000 people, and you should be good to go. And it's like, damn, what if you don't have either of those things? I'm trying to start the business so I can get the 5 grand. I don't know. I don't know what people are supposed to do. Because even like, okay, go to school, learn a thing, right? I feel like you're better off learning a trade than like getting a degree at this point. Learn some sort of valuable business like plumbing, something that people are going to need. But not everyone's going to be a plumber. It's just not in the cards for everybody to be a plumber. It's not in the cards for everybody to be an exterminator or a mechanic or maybe people should. I don't know. But these practical skills, I don't, and not everybody can be a mechanic. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what people are supposed to do. Not everyone is gonna make money off of by starting a YouTube channel. Not everybody's gonna make money being a content creator or a streamer. Not everybody's gonna make money being a music artist. Not everyone can be a doctor. Even the practical skills, like not everyone's gonna make enough money doing Uber. Uber's really only popping in like the major areas. It is popping in a lot of places, but to make like a killing, I don't know. I guess if you live near an airport, but like what if you live in like Wyoming or something? Uber probably is ass. You know. I don't know. I don't know what people are supposed to do. I don't know if it's gonna be some like history repeat itself and like factories start again, but like why wouldn't a factory be robot operated? They probably mostly are anyways by this point. You know what I mean? I don't know. I could just look out and see that this is a problem. And it's easy to like be blinded by the fact that there are these like young people that are making all this money, but most of the people around their age have no idea what they're going to do in life. Most people up to like the age of 30 are still living with their parents. Like there's a whole generation that's just locked in that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people would argue that that's the best way to do it. You know what I'm saying? But that was definitely not the wave before. It was not embarrassing, but it was just kind of like, okay, you should be out of the house by a certain point, just because it was possible. It was almost like if you're not, you're just being whatever. You're not doing the right thing, or you're being lazy, or you don't have ambition. But now it's just like, it's almost the opposite. It's like you're kind of dumb to even try to do that. But it's like, but with that is like, how do you become an adult? How do you start a family? You can't start a family living at your parents' house. That's awkward, right? It just doesn't even make sense. So just the design of it is just kind of not progressive to society. I don't know. I don't know. And just like everything, like people staying home more, so people aren't socializing. So people aren't getting into relationships and things like that. People are getting into relationships with AI models, AI things, not models like that, but like AI models, like a LLM, like and they're okay with that. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, where did this happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, where this crazy social anxiety that people have. Like, social anxiety has always been around, but there's always been this ambition to overcome it. Now it's like people are okay with their social anxiety because we have coping mechanisms like AI, chat bots and stuff to talk to, and people don't even realize that, like, yo, this is not sustainable. This is not going to help you be a real human being. All the people that were like 17, 18, 19 during COVID, I feel so bad because they just missed that time. There's so much growth that I had between like high school and like freshman year of college that like without that I would not be the same person I am. You just learn. You learn social situations just by embarrassing yourself, just by hearing things. It's like you think you got this one idea and then you have like 5 of your friends be like, nah, that's not it, and you're shamed into learning. Now it's just like you can be validated by how you feel. You can go on Reddit and find an exact post that's with like 100 people that are going, yeah, this is how I feel, social awkward, there's nothing I can do about it. Well, and then they'll have a whole list of suggestions on how to cope. Whereas if like, I don't know, if you just have friends, they'd be like, nah, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's different. It's different. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what like the average, what year do you get out of college? 22? Average 21, 22-year-old. I don't know. I don't see these people represented. You know what I'm saying? I see the successful ones that are streamers and content creators, but that's still a small pocket of people. That's not most people. Most people are not content creators. Most people, you don't even know about them. Most people are profiles on Instagram and TikTok that are private, that have no posts and no photos. You know what I'm saying? That's most people. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I'll like get like followers or something from like TikTok or something, and then you like, they'll like your thing, and you look at the thing and it's just like a NPC essentially, and you're like, is this just spam? And it's like, it just be real people, but just most people just aren't they just don't put themselves out there like that. And not that you should, and that, because it's definitely like a new thing, so I can't even like get at them like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's so many people that watch TV in like the 90s that are just shy, non-attention seeking people. And so yeah, I mean, in contrast, it seems weird in a way, but it's just kind of more normal. So I don't know. Not everyone is made to start a business. It just doesn't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everyone can have a business, because if everybody has a business, you still need consumers. But the fucked up part is that, well, business, it requires employees. But if businesses are able to still sustain on a high level without a lot of employees, it's just like, it just leaves a lot of people assed out. And it's not that it fucks up the economy, but it definitely like, what's that word called? It just like limits the scope of the economy. It just like, it just narrows it. So now it's just like a Walmart that's this big corporation that's been a big corporation just to get bigger. You know what I'm saying? Just to get bigger. They don't have, their sales could drop significantly, but they can grow because they're not shelling out half of their money to pay employees. You know, it's crazy. So I don't know, and not everyone could just start it. It's like if this was like the 70s, I'd be like, yeah, you can start your own Walmart and maybe scale it. But like now, things are just so monopolized, you can't even like do it, even if you wanted to. Like no one's trying to come to your fucking. What do you call Walmart? They used to have a term for that type of store. It's like a general store. Like no one's trying to come to your general store, bro. Not when they can go to Walmart and get deals, and like order shit online and shop online. No one's trying to come to your store when they have an Amazon where they can literally order anything they want. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's like terribly convenient. But even to like carry everything that people need is like, yeah, it can happen once in a while. But like people love that shit where they can search online, the convenience factor. So it's hard to imagine, you know. Not everyone's gonna start a businesses. Don't like most restaurants fail. Don't most businesses fail? And there's probably other reasons, but it's just like, even if you really want it to work, it's just people just don't care. People are going to go to McDonald's, even though it's worse for you. They're going to go to McDonald's because of the way that McDonald's is set up. You know, they have a great drive-through. They have an online app. They have food that people know what it is. They have deals. They can afford to give deals. You know, I don't know, it's convenient. It's everywhere. It's recognizable. They have late hours. Most businesses, a mom and pop business, they have to close at what time? 5, 6 every day, 7 maybe, if you're lucky. McDonald's can stay open 24 hours. They can do it. You only need one person to run a whole McDonald's. Late night drive-through, boom. The drive-through person might be making the food. Maybe two people. I've seen it. I pulled up to a McDonald's, just one person on the drive-through and making the food. The line is long as fuck, but they did it, you know? They can take those risks. Like, okay, this takes people longer, but they're still going to get it. And if not, they're going to go to the McDonald's up the street, same company. Not a mom and pop can't compete with that. A mom and pop can't afford to lose a customer because they're not franchised like that, you know? I don't know. I don't know what people are supposed to do. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know because people don't have, the average person doesn't have extra money to like take risks. So a person might be like, okay, I'm just going to pay this money to go to McDonald's because I know what I'm going to get. They might not want to risk trying your fucking food. And the mom and pop shit is usually going to be a lot more expensive too because they have to compete. You have to. Your sales aren't high enough to have affordable food at your restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's probably you're gonna be paying that $20 plate for some fucking curry chicken, and you might spend 15 at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? And the curry chicken might be way better for you, might be way more delicious, but some people need to save that $5. So I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know how does the average 21-year-old that has no money or no previous money because we live in a weird time, their parents don't have any extra money to give them to start a business. You don't have any money because you've never had any money. What do you do? What do you do? How do you make money? Who is your consumers? Is it other 21-year-olds? Where do they get money from? How? Even if all your friends have jobs, where are they working at, and how much extra money they actually have, and how sustainable is it? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know where the world is going. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. Now you can go into education. That'll probably be there. I could see that being a thing. But even that, a school only needs so many teachers. Like, at a certain point, it is what it is. I think that will be a demand. But even that, you still have to have certain education and certification to do that. So you kind of have to plan that. You have to like, okay, I'm going to go into education. So it's like, fuck any dream you had or anything. Unless you really dream of being a teacher. Some people do. Most people don't. It's hard. And it's not an easy job. It's not just like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to teach these kids and they're going to learn and love it and I'm going to inspire. No, you have to fucking babysit. You have to be an authority figure. You have to regulate. It's not an easy job. Kids are terrible nowadays. They don't respect adults. It's the complete opposite. We used to fear our teachers because of the consequences. Oh, I'll give you detention or I'll call your parents, whatever. These kids don't give a shit. Their parents don't even have enough time to fucking deal with it because they're too busy being young adults that are trying to make it in this difficult world. It's not even a thing anymore. They just don't give a shit. And it's crazy because it was already hard. So we went from a hard world where the economy and job market was fucked up to an even harder one, where the job market was fucked up because the recession and things like that, the economy. So like businesses, small businesses weren't able to sustain because the consumers were low. Their sales weren't enough to sustain their businesses and they weren't able to turn profits. To now, we're dealing with things that are way more out of our control, like AI and technology that are just, you know, McDonald's can invest. McDonald's can invest into a whole AI system where it doesn't have any human employees. Average mom and pop can't do that. Glacial Musher said, W Trump for real, 2000 stimulus check soon. I was just saying that. I wasn't saying the W Trump part. But you know, I will take that stimmy though. Are you a Trump supporter for real? Or are you just saying W because you want the money? So I feel like Trump gets a lot of fans when he gives people money. MA. I don't know what that stands for, unless it stands for maybe. Or maybe you mean nah. Oh, maybe. Nah, I mean, well, I think being a Trump supporter is weird, but I mean, I guess unless you're white, I guess whatever. But I think being a Trump supporter is weird, just cause why? And I always say like I think Trump is funny. I think he's like, I guess entertaining. But as a president, I don't know. I don't know, bro. But hey, to each their own. I don't like to diss people about their political beliefs. Again, if I was white, I'd probably think about it a little bit differently. You know what I'm saying? But since I am not, it is hard for me. And I like to look at things like objectively, like without getting emotional about it. And it's hard for me to really find the silver lining in Trump's presidency outside of the money part. But it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like, that feels disingenuous to me. And I don't know. I don't know. I just, I don't know what I expect from a president. And I can't say I expect a president to be like W day for real though. You're saying what if that happens? Yeah, it'll be a W. People will be happy for about a month and they spend that shit. Although I feel like I still have some stimmies like from back then, like in some that are in some crypto and shit still that I didn't spend low key. Maybe like one, but I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I don't know if it's gonna be one of these things where it's like people will be like, "Yo, he actually did some shit back in the day," or if it's just like, I don't know. It's hard to say, but hey, you know, we'll take the money. 2000 and government. Oh, government opened back up today, really? So, but aren't they like saying like all the flights got canceled and shit? So is that still going? Are the flights still canceled, or did that change now? Since that's cool though. I do feel bad. I don't understand the people that were doing government jobs that weren't paid for like a month and a half. Hopefully they get paid retroactively. So that'll be a nice check. But that's a long ass time. Nah, B is it opens up, or he is. I don't know. I'm not sure what that means, but yeah. Hey, I mean, that's cool. I'm glad that the shit's open back up for mostly for the sake of the workers. Yeah, service members get back pay. That'd be nice. I mean, I hope they get a bonus. The fact that it's even like able to happen is crazy. You know what I mean? Like if you can afford to pay people later, why can't you just pay them at least half or something? Like just to like that's weird. But yeah, that's crazy. Hopefully they've been being taken care of, so they have little savings and shit. But not everybody is. That must be tough. That must be a tough thing. So we'll see. We'll see. So flights are back on. I didn't even see that though. I didn't even see that. Maybe I was like asleep earlier. I didn't see that, but I saw that the stimmy thing. Do you know? You have any idea when we're supposed to get that shit? Oh, you live in Alaska too, don't you get like a certain amount of money just by living there? How much do you get a year to live in Alaska? Talking to Glacial Musher right now. Musher. Talking to Glacial right now for the AI summary. Glacial is a Alaska resident, and I've heard that they get some extra money to live there because of the weird fucking daylight and nighttime consistency that we don't have in any other part of the country. Which is weird, because does any other part of the world have that shit where it doesn't get light or dark outside for a substantial time? Besides Alaska. We need to do more research on that. Like the certain parts of Canada. Well, maybe certain parts of Canada do have that, but like no one lives up there. I'm not sure when we get it. Oh, okay. But you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where you guys get paid like for like it being dark and light out or something? What is that shit called? I've heard this shit. Alaska residents. But for the record, this is not a Trump supporting podcast. I mean, a Trump supporting stream. I'm not like saying that I'm like against the president or the government. I'm not. I'm just not like particularly like a Trumper. I think it's weird to. I don't think it's weird to support your president, but I think it's weird to support to like go out of your way and like support Trump. Like go to rallies where it be MAGA. I think that's strange. Because I feel like even Trump would laugh at you in real life. You know what I'm saying? Be like, these fucking guys, they don't even realize I'm fucking playing them like a fiddle. Yo, Glacier said, yo, someone I talked to was just near Travis Scott house. Where does Travis Scott live? In Hidden Hills? Shadow Hills or some shit like that? One of those places like Shadow Hills or Hidden Hills has you like drive through there and it's like a farm. It's like everyone has horses and shit. It's weird as fuck. I didn't know that was a thing. It's like it's crazy. It's like trippy as fuck. Or does Travis Scott live in like Calabasas? Glacial Musher stays tapped in. Did you just DM me? Yes, he did. Who is this? Change Roof. I feel like I've seen this name. Oh, I'm following. Oh, is this the homie you're trying to hook me up with to do the stream? Dope. Curious. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. Oh yeah, what happened with that? And what happened with the pot lord thing? I know I said I wasn't trying to pay, but damn, was there any more conversation with that, or is it just like should I just wait till I'm like back on my feet more? I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow for my arm. What happened with the pot lord thing? The Swift mode. Was he like expecting money? I told him when you get better that you'll be up to do IRA. Okay, cool. Appreciate it. Curious, Glacial Musher, as I think you're somewhere between the age of like 25 and 27, 28. What do you do for money? How do you make income? Because I was trying to speculate, what is like the average like straight out of college? Oh, the change guy, yeah, cool. What is the average like straight out of college to like 26-year-old do for money nowadays? I guess you could get a job at Target or a gas station or some shit, but how are people making money? How is the average like what is it, what is this shit called? Gen Z make money nowadays? Like what's the most average job? Lower, bro, not gonna say but lower. I don't get it. You're younger. You're younger. You're saying you're younger? Whatever. That well, you can still answer the question. I was just going off of what the homie Chunky Monkey said yesterday or the other day. I assumed you guys are like the same age. How does the average person, the average younger millennial type dude make money? Like for instance, when I pull up, I'm pocket watching. I'm not gonna lie. When I pull up change roof page, I see like Hellstar. I see Jordans. I see obviously people have parents and shit. That's not Hellstar. I see designer clothes. Yeah, age lower. That's what I figure you're saying. How are these young cats affording like shit? I don't get it. I don't see how you can have more money than the average person that has a job. I don't get it. And I get like sometimes when you're living with your parents, you can like, you might get a little $500 here and there, and then you just buy some kicks and like a t-shirt, a hoodie or some shit, and then you just keep doing that over and over again. But how? Tell me. How? How? How do so many like 19-year-olds have like fucking designer shit? I don't get it. See, I knew you were gonna say something generic like that. Entrepreneur. That is so vague. Specifically, are you talking about? Like you're selling pints? Are you? I know people get savvy though. People will like flip sneakers and shit like that, and maybe some crypto or whatever. Yes, I know. I'm curious, but okay, entrepreneur, that could be anything. You could be selling, you could be doing card detailing. You could be selling Pokemon cards. You could be. I'm just curious what the actual method is. Are you like buying and reselling? Are you? What is the method? What is the method? Because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to be so established, to be so young and be so established in business where it's like you're making, from what I see, extra money. You know what I'm saying? Because most people, they'll start a business and that'll pay their basic bills, their housing, food, maybe their car, usually still a modest car. But I'm seeing dudes driving like Benzes and Beamers with chains, with jewelry, with Jordans and Ricks and shit, with, and they're, $200 t-shirts and $500 jeans. I don't get it. To me, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't mean that like they're being irresponsible with their money and they shouldn't be buying these things. It's just multiple things. It's okay. I see 10 different pairs of Dunks. I see 5 different Jordans. I see 3 Amiri sweatshirts. How? Just that alone. And they're tatted. Tats aren't cheap. How? You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't get. Now, it could be choices. It's like, okay, I'm going to buy. I know some people that'll just like invest their money up front into their gear and shit because it's going to last longer and things like that. I get that. But how? I don't get it. Entrepreneur is too vague. What are you doing? Like refurbishing cell phones? Doing like screen repairs? I don't see how like people can be so like business savvy without like, well, I mean, I guess it's possible, but maybe you guys are just more tapped into the methods than we were because you're more familiar. Let's see. Okay, so you sent me this message. Right, I see it, but it still doesn't really explain anything. Because I guess what I'm saying is like, So, for example, this one is, you said co-producer of this movie. I guess I'm just like, who, like, you, sometimes you need certain, like, seed money to get started to do things. So to even start a business, it's like, just say you need like, I don't know, 3 grand to start like a legit business. I guess I'm from a generation where like the average 22-year-old doesn't just have like a spare 3 grand. So that's where I'm kind of like, it can't be everybody. It can't be everybody. From when I see like a 22-year-old like that like has started his own business, the first thing I have to think of is like, okay, your parents must have some sort of money. You know what I'm saying? To even be, because there's so many households where if you have 3 grand, you, your parents are gonna be like, yo, let me get some of that for whatever bills or something. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, the only people that would remember that would get like excess money like that are like maybe some Jewish kids for like bar mitzvahs and shit like that. Certain upper middle class to upper class white kids that I went to school with, they might have some rich family members, so when they graduate, they might get like 5 to 10 grand. You know how much I got for graduation? Nothing. Like literally nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, I feel like every kid will get a couple dollars throughout his life, and some will save it. But being able to save is kind of a luxury, I guess. Like, there's some parents that will say, save your money, I'm paying for everything, just save it. And there are some parents that say, yo, I know your grandmother just gave you that $300, but let me get 150 of that so we can pay the, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot of people's existence. So I'm just curious. You mean like, how do you get started? Yes. Let's say close to near 18 me, I save 4K in cash right now. Right. Exactly. That's not a lot of 18-year-olds experience is what I'm saying. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I never have 4K when I was I never had 4K when I was you said you're closer to 18. I never even had close to 4K at that point. Not even close. I probably had like I probably when I was like 18, I probably had no more than like, if I had 500 bucks, I was like up. You know what I'm saying? And that was like probably some like maybe a birthday money, maybe I did like a little job and I was able to save money. Having the idea of having 4K, it wasn't even like a thing. Like, so just saving, right? So again, I guess my point is to be able to save money is a privilege, but everyone can do it though. Everybody can do it. I guess it's a mentality thing. I just save. I never ask my parents for anything too. I guess it's like saving what though? Did you have like little jobs here and there? Like maybe you like cut people's grass and I got to consider inflation too. So like the idea of like 4,000 now is probably the equivalent of like when I was like 18, probably like 2,000. So, which still would have been like, damn, I'm up. Okay, so nah, I never worked. So what money are you saving? Where does the money come from? If you've never worked and your parents aren't giving you money, are you talking about gifts? From like grandparents and shit like that? Is it your free Alaska money for being a citizen there? Is it stimmies? You probably didn't get a stimmy if you're only like close to 18. It's got to come from somewhere. Birthday and Christmas and sometimes just random. Exactly. Okay, boom. You just, You just hit the nail on the head. I guess what I'm saying is that it's not a lot of people's experience to get birthday money, Christmas money. I've never gotten money on Christmas in my life. Maybe like as an adult, where my mom's like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I'm like, "I just need some money." And random family money, that's not a thing. Birthday money, I feel like I haven't gotten birthday money since I was like. But I get it. If that's your thing to like save money, I could see how you could have some bread though. Honestly, I remember, yeah, but most people don't have family members with like excess money to like. I mean, 4K is not that much if you've been saving since you've been like 12, I guess. But do you know what I'm saying though? It's like it's not a lot of people's experience just to be given money. If anything, it's like there's like I would bet that. I remember I asked somebody one time. I was like, "What do you think a lot of money is?" And this person was like, "If you have $1,000." And I was like, me and my friend were like, "What the fuck?" Like even us being like not having money, we we're like, that's some people's reality. So you had 6 grand. I'm just saying, what you have saved up is more than probably like is probably more than like what 50% of the average population has ever had at one time. That's real. I heard somewhere that the average bank account is like 2,800, and that's average. That's all the people that have millions, thousands, hundred thousands. You know what I mean? 2,800 is crazy. So what I'm saying is, even and I get it. I'm sure you go out of your way to save your money. Some people are just like that. You're probably very cheap, or maybe not. Maybe just be balling and don't really think about money. Yeah. I remember I had like when I was like probably 12 or 13. I think I was like working, and I think I had like $300-400 saved up. I felt like I was on top of the world, and I like bought a computer, and that shit was gone. You know what I mean? But like, I had to work though. You know what I mean? That was for $300. You know what I'm saying? It was a different time, I guess. Again, 4,000 is a little. It's not the same. It'd be the equivalent of like 2,000, 2,500 back in the day. I had a stack of 2K twice now, but on my third stack of 4K. Right. Yeah, most people don't get access to money like that. Like the average like adult that's like working and paying bills can't even hold on to 4K like that. You know what I mean? Some people. It depends on what you do in the lifestyle. But I mean, ultimately, it is about choices, though. It really is about choices. Like literally going out of your way to do anything like save money. You're gonna see results from that because most people just aren't putting that effort in to do that. So, but again, a lot of people aren't getting that type of money. You know what I'm saying? I remember like getting like birthday money, and it might be like I might get $20 or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like a different scale. If you want more clues, single child. No, I get it. There's a lot of single children that don't have shit though. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Like, I think people are sometimes, it's not like woe is me or whatever. Some people are privileged in life and they don't really actually realize. They might think, oh damn, I only have 4K. My cousin has 20K, and it's just like you don't even realize you're in the 1% by having 20K. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's different. You might be damn near a very small percentile by just even having 4K. You know. So, single child doesn't mean anything. I know what you mean, though. I know what you're saying. You're like, if I had brothers and sisters, I'd probably only have 2,500 stacked up right now. Which would still put you in a highly privileged position. I don't know. But maybe it's different. Maybe the cost of living in Alaska is super high, and that's nothing. You know what I mean? But I can see it, though. It's like, especially when you have cash, it's way easier to like stack money because you don't want to touch it. You don't want to spend. You don't want to break that $100 bill. You know what I'm saying? I get that. I totally get that. I'm just saying, it's fucking hard out here. It's fucking hard. But I was just curious. How people are starting and things like that. And The realest shit that people say, and it sounds like a cliche, it takes money to make money. It's like the truest statement. It's really hard to make money without any like upfront costs. Even if you just say you wanted to like start a business where you sell water bottles on hot days, like you still need that upfront money to buy those bottles of water. It might not, I mean, if you don't have it, it's hard, but but if you, the difference of is like, okay, I need to buy this like $12 worth, $20 worth of water. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have it, that's impossible. But if you have some money stacked up, it's nothing. And then you can scale that. Like, oh, I want to start a T-shirt business with these direct to garment printers. If you have 100,000, the 4,000 machine is like doable because you'll make that back. But if you don't have the 4,000 to even start, even though you believe in your idea, and yeah, you could probably figure it out. You can get a loan, you could borrow money, you could get a credit card, you could figure out some sort of payment plan or whatever. But it's tough, and you need other stuff like the T-shirts and the facility to do it, and the transfer paper and all these things. So, or maybe you don't need transfer paper for a direct to garment. Maybe it prints it right on the shirt, but shit like that. So it definitely takes money to make money. Even like just say you want to get into real estate, like you still gotta like pay certain upfront costs to even get into that shit. You know what I mean? It's not like you can just like sign up and go for free. I'm sure you could figure out some shit. There's probably some free way to get into real estate, but like, for the best businesses, you often need some sort of upfront to even get into it. You know, whatever it is. Like even to get a decent job, you still kind of somewhat need capital. Like, just say you wanted to get into like X-ray, be an X-ray tech. Don't you still have to like figure out the schooling? You know what I'm saying? Maybe you could figure out something, but if you're past a certain age, I don't know. You might have to come out of pocket a little bit. Let's see what Glacial sent. Yeah, he sent me another entrepreneur. Everybody says entrepreneur, but every time I hear that, I just think of drug dealer because it's like, why not say what you do? That's still, you said sports marketing. That's still so vague. Okay, sports marketing is your job and you're young. Like, how? Like, okay, cool. I get it. It's like maybe you start by like starting a Instagram page, right? And you just like keep scaling it and make it super popular. So then that page has leverage. So then that page can start to generate buzz on certain things and generate money maybe from promo and things like that. Is that kind of like the entry point and then you just keep scaling? Because like sports marketing, I guess you could like go to school for, I don't even know what that would be under, marketing, and maybe there's a specific program at a certain school called sports marketing, but like, what does that even mean? Like, I don't even get that from looking at this page. You're just like promoting athletes. And then who's paying you to do that? How do you get the contract? Who's actually specifically paying you? Glacier Marketing. And you have 12.5K followers. So how is that a sustainable business with 12? Now, if you had like a million, I could be like, okay. And that's not to say, 12K real followers is amazing. I'm saying, what is the point where someone's like, I have to pay this person and I have to pay this person enough where they're making a living? Now, is it not so much on how much each transaction is, or is it just focused on like volume? Like, okay, maybe I don't have enough for one client to pay my rent, but I have 12 clients and now I can pay my rent. That's what I don't understand. It just seems like there's a missing link that's not being discussed. It's like, oh yeah, my parents are rich. It's like the Donald Trump effect. It's like, yeah, I started my business with just a mere 250,000, whatever the fuck he said. I forgot the number. And it's just like 250,000 in the 80s is like a million. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? It's just like your mere investment is more, is more than the average person will ever touch in their lifetime. Well, maybe not collectively, but you know what I'm saying? I think some people that are rich are out of touch with how a lot of the world is actually doing. It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I just got some thousands of dollars from my family. Most people can't say that. You know, it's not a thing. But I feel you though. Sports marketing. That's dope though. Like, okay, cool. So let's go back to this. You said you sent me two people that are young entrepreneurs. Out of 10 people, or out of the majority of people that you know, how many people are like that, and how many people do you know that are your age that are the complete opposite, that have nothing going on, that are trying to figure it out? Would you say that that's more people, or do you just know a lot of young people that are just happen to be successful? Because if we're talking about like the exceptions, then I guess I could see that, but I guess it just wasn't really a thing. It wasn't really a thing for like people like age like 18 to like 20. Really, I would say almost 18 to 28, 30 to be business owners. I never really observed that. It was like from my generation, like people didn't really start opening businesses to like 30s, 35, you know, like later once they like get their shit figured out. I don't remember any people that were like 18 that had their own business, unless you were just selling drugs, or maybe because we didn't have the platforms to actually do it and directly connect with customers like an Instagram where you can market. It probably would have been a lot harder because you probably had to like get a store and like, you know, figure out that, whereas you can kind of start your business online for free or a lot less. I'm just amazed. I ask questions because I'm just like, I'm amazed. It seems not real how people are able to do this shit. I don't understand it, you know? Like, and it's like one thing to like, people of course will try to start businesses. People try to start businesses. I remember people was trying to start record labels and clothing brands and what the fuck were people doing? Shit like that. But it wasn't, you know, and it just, a lot of times it just wouldn't work because there wasn't enough outreach or demand. But now it seems like people are able to like, maybe it's just the technology. You can just do better research on how to make it work. There's YouTube videos, there's all these tutorials, there's now AI to guide you. I don't know. I don't know if that's the difference. I just, maybe after a while there's just more examples of things that worked. Like even thinking about like a Mr. Beast, like there was no, it's so crazy. Like my generation, there's not a lot of big successful people. It's just very few. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's, if you think, even think about like rappers that are like the same age in my bracket, it's like Drake. You know what I'm saying? And there's not a lot of other people that are in that bracket. It's either they're younger or they're older. There's not a lot of people that are like the same age. And it's like, I don't know what kind of generation gap, because I did notice like even people born like slightly after, it's just like, damn, how the fuck do you figure that shit out? It maybe it's because we're like these like hybrid people that are like born like before a lot of the technology, and it's like also being developed with us. So like the people slightly after got to kind of see where we went wrong and kind of like tap into that. I remember Young Thug saying that about Wayne. What was he saying about Wayne? I think he said that about Wayne. He said he was like, his trajectory was just to like kind of do everything right that Lil Wayne did wrong type shit. But we see where he is now. But shout out to Thug though. Actually, Thug is actually thriving on the online community. He was able to redeem himself. Actually, shout out Thug. Glacier said, "Nah, I try to surround myself with people who are talented, not wealthy or rich, just because successful at a young age. So most people I talk to are successful because that will boost me to work for one of them one day with someone like them. I just want to be successful." I feel you. I guess what I'm saying is just like, that's dope. That's dope that there's like a high concentration that you're able to find that, especially maybe in Alaska and shit like that. I'm just saying like, I guess when I was in that age bracket, there was no one like that. It just wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? Everybody was like a consumer. You know what I'm saying? There weren't so many. It's weird. It's a weird world where it's like the mom and pop thing is like gone away, but like there's a new mom and pop that's like online. You know what I mean? So it feels like it's just these big monopolies and corporations that take all the business, but there is still this like niche, smaller entities, but it's online. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's very interesting. Because for me, I had to come out to LA to feel that feeling. I had to come out to LA to feel like I'm surrounded by successful people. Even still, that's how I feel. Glacial said, I mean, heck, I know Post Malone, DJ, and Neon and Citrus, with so what the hell, I'm already doing good. Yeah, you are. I guess what I'm saying is there was no Neon. There was nobody, there was no Neon at my time, and if there was, which there wasn't, there was no way to directly connect to them. Like maybe, I guess like you said, I mean, the fact that you ran into Neon randomly, but it's also like the technology that you're growing up with, which allows you to even know where to be, know how to get there so efficiently. You know what I'm saying? It's like if this was the 90s and you're from Alaska, the chances of you just randomly chilling in LA are like, and I'm not saying I came up in the 90s like that, but it's just your chances of just randomly chilling in LA and running into, like there was no even a streamer, so like who would Neon even be? You know what I mean? I guess that's what I'm saying. He wouldn't be a rapper, he wouldn't be an actor, he wouldn't be maybe he would be on some TV show. I guess he could be an actor, I guess. But it's such a new world, like of things that didn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Just like even how easy it is to book a plane ticket or to catch an Uber somewhere. Or imagine doing that in the 90s. You're like calling a travel company to like book the flight on the phone, and then you're like, you wouldn't even know somebody's down somewhere. Like there's no live, there's no Uber. You have to catch a cab or rent a car. It's just different times. Different times. There's just not a lot of stories of like celebrities used to be like people that you would not see. They were rare. They were elusive. Now celebrities are attainable, and there were less celebrities too. So and every celebrity was A-list. There was a very short B list. You know what I mean? I mean, probably a long B list, but it was like if you were known because you were known, and it was because you were on TV and shit. But now it's like you can be like niche known. Like for the fact that how many people know Neon, but how many people don't know Neon at the same time, you couldn't really say that as much in the '90s for like a big star because it was just like they had to have millions of people that knew him because that's just the nature of TV and things like that, movies and things like that. So it's just an interesting world that we live in. You know what I'm saying? And of course, people were friends with celebrities, but you really had to come out to LA to maybe even make that happen, or maybe live in New York. But that was it. You couldn't be an Alaska kid and be like networking with like Post Malone and Neon. It wasn't a thing. There was no way to do that. There were no means. So that's why I'm trying to figure out the game. But really, it's just embracing the world that you live in and the technology and just making those moves and being fearless. Because the worst people can say is no. So it's definitely a different world, and I'm definitely peeping that the mentality is different. It's definitely like a working smarter, not harder mentality that I'm seeing too, which I admire. It's interesting. It's really, really interesting. Yeah, no, it's fucking fire, bro. But it just still does not explain where all this money's. Well, I mean, I guess if you get money, you're able to save it. That's a different thing. And then you can use that money to do things, especially in a world where like nobody has money. But you're right though. Is surrounding yourself with people that are already doing it. That's something that's not new. That's an old That's an old tactic that people have been saying and using. Surround yourself with the people that you want to be like. You know what I mean? So I guess that would ring true no matter what generation you're coming in. Again, my point was, I guess there wasn't always people to surround yourself with like that. It just, most people, like, the history of the world is like this, all this shit, this like clout shit, this fame shit, this like kind of micro fame shit is new, is super new. It was like, again, like either you were famous for something, you're on TV, you're on the radio, you're on a movie screen, you play sports, you're in politics. That was like really it. And if you weren't in one of those things, I don't see how you could be famous. Maybe you wrote a book or something, but even still, it's like kind of, you know. But now, you could be you could make videos on your phone and be famous. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just wasn't a thing. There's nothing like that. I'm talking about like when I was 18, there was no YouTube. When I was 19, there was YouTube. You know what I'm saying? That's so, and that's early. YouTube is early. So forget MySpace. Well, MySpace was probably out. I think MySpace was out before YouTube. But even that is like, people didn't even know, like, the fact that people have like a low account is like 500 to 1,000 to 2,000 people on Instagram. People didn't even know 1,000 people. Maybe if you went to a certain high school that was a bigger high school, you might, but even still, it's like you don't. Okay, maybe you know 1,000 people, but it's just different now. It's just different, but it's interesting. I just always like to peep game just to see, because it really is just like how you think about things. It's kind of the same world, but it's just like adapting the way that you think about things that makes the difference. Because what you just said about surrounding yourself with people that are doing things is the same sentiment. Nothing's changed. That's what I'm saying. Why, like, how, like, bro is gifted a Rolex by Rolex. Like, I guess I'm just like, but maybe it's just one of those things where I'm just kind of like an old head where I'm just like, because of what I have noticed in this modern world, if you, whatever you talk about and manifest, it's like so much easier to come true because of the technology we have. Like, you can manifest a Rolex so much easier by like going on their website and looking at it and printing it out, or not printing it out, people don't do that, but just like making it your wallpaper on your phone or your computer and visiting that website every day and setting an alarm on your phone to say, check out, that says Rolex. You know what I'm saying? You can attract these things more. Whereas like, we could always do it, but it was a lot harder to do that, you know? So I think it's kind of like we live in this world where it's super easy to manifest. Even like a sword too. You could be like, make a video of me with $1 million. And if you make a video like that, you don't think you'll start to manifest some money like that? Just seeing what it looks like and seeing how it would happen. So I guess it really is embracing the modern technology. Just because I guess I came up and it was just like the modern technology was still being developed and it wasn't being taken serious. Yo, I swear to God, when I first started making music, that was around the same time YouTube came out. It was a joke to have your music video on YouTube. YouTube was like the place where you had to put your music video when you couldn't get on TV. It was a joke. People would be like, oh, it's only on YouTube? What the fuck? And now it's like, it's not on YouTube? What the fuck? You know, so it's a mind fuck, I guess, for me sometimes to experience both, because it was like, there wasn't a lot of hope back then. But now it's the method, you know, and it's weird to see both worlds because it's like, a lot of people get jaded or got jaded early on because what they were doing wasn't being taken serious. They're marketing their music on social media. They're using YouTube. And now you have to do it like that. And if you're not, you know what I'm saying? It's just, so I think people got frustrated early. Whereas now the fact that you can go viral on a TikTok page that has no followers, like nothing like that has ever happened ever in life. There's never been that opportunity. And people don't even know. because it's like, damn, I tried this with MySpace back in the day. I tried this with Facebook back in the day. I tried this with early Instagram and it didn't work. But then on the fourth try with TikTok, now it can work. And so sometimes it's being that naive mind that doesn't know any better, and you just try some shit and it works. But it is a lesson to always just try. Don't ever give up. Just keep trying. Embrace the new technology, because it might. Because I remember even like you can like boost a post up on Instagram or like TikTok. I remember like doing that shit early with Instagram and it being like minimal results, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of like whack or whatever. But then you just try it like 3 years later and it's just a whole different thing. It's like a whole, and so shit does evolve. And I guess sometimes when you don't know that it's going to evolve, it seems frustrating. And now it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess the just embrace the new, embrace the technology and keep trying. You probably don't even know what I'm talking about because it just seems like I'm just like venting or complaining. But I'm like, the world was so different. Like I grew up in such a weird time where like I remember before computers, before cell phones, like a whole life. Had to and then before internet, before fast internet, before YouTube, before social media, like. But still trying to get after this shit. You know what I mean? Not like, obviously I had internet, but by the time I was trying to get after it, but it was a whole different internet. A completely different internet. There was no algorithms. Like the fact that that's like such a big part of how we navigate, and there was no algorithm before. Facebook used to just be a feed of what the people you actually are friends with post. That was it. And there was an end to it. There was a bottom to Facebook at one point. Now it's just whatever they want to show you is on your feed. You know what I mean? Like, just think about how different that is and how different of a tool that is. Like, imagine trying to use that as a marketing tool and being frustrated that you only have this many followers and that's as far as reach is going to get. There wasn't even a share. There was no share. You know? It's a different type of concentration. Like, you might get like 400 views on something because you have 500 friends. Whereas now you might have 1,000 friends and only get 20 views. It doesn't make sense. It's fucked up. Like, and so there's a lot of shit like that. That's like you adjust to, and then you is very. But I'm not a jaded ass person. I'd be still trying, but a lot of certain ideas that you go, oh, it's not gonna work. I have that where I'm like, oh, it's not gonna work. And people, oh, just try posting it on it. I'm like, man, I tried that, but it's like I'm not realizing that it's an evolved platform. I remember my sister like telling me to like post on Pinterest, and I'm like, Pinterest? But, even YouTube, like there was, in the beginning of YouTube, there was slight discoverability because there weren't that many videos. And then the influx came and then there was no discoverability. And now discoverability is back on YouTube. It's weird. I didn't post on YouTube for like the longest time just because of how ass it was. And now it's like, damn, this shit is crazy. Like YouTube shorts that didn't exist before. It's just like it just changed. It's just a whole different algorithm now. There's multiple algorithms per platform now. It's like the feed, the Reels feed, the For You page, your page, like suggested, all that shit. Stories, So it's a lot of shit like that I feel like you don't see a lot of people from my particular age bracket trying to get after this type of shit. But you almost see people older sometimes doing it more than people that are younger, like my age. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. Like, there's so many people that are from my age bracket that are like I went to high school with, and like, why is it that like 80% of them have a private Instagram page? Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just weird to me. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I get it though. I mean, if you're not, it is what it is. But anyway, I might call this one. It's been about 2 hours. W Glacial Musher in the chat with a good insight. I'm gonna definitely be reflecting on this convo and seeing how I can get after it. Oh, hold on before I go. I just recommend manifesting Insta stories and at people that you want to see your story. That'll get more people. Hey, no. Sometimes you got to know the method. Sometimes you got to know the method. Exactly. Because like that is actually smart. This person tagged you in a story. That is like a thing too. I have noticed that with and then like if you tag somebody, yeah, exactly. Tag somebody in a photo, it'll push it. Appreciate the insight, W Ty for tapping in. I didn't even realize Ty was still here. Yeah, W's. I'll be back tomorrow. I wish I could stream my doctor visit, but I don't think they're gonna let me. Slash, there's not that much reception all the time over there. So I'll just recap on that later. Yeah. When I'm back, it'll be a week until Twitch suspension ends. But yeah, I appreciate everybody tapping in. I'll be back. I'm glad grateful that there was chat today, because I'd be losing my mind when there's not chat. That shit is heartbreaking. Well, there's nobody in the chat. This shit is heartbreaking. I'm like, damn. I be feeling like shit. And then like, right when you're like ready to be like, you feel like shit a couple of days, and then just like you'll just get like a good ass stream where there's mad people talking. So I'm always happy. All right, I'll be back. Get some rest. Go do your thing. It's late. Tomorrow's Monday. It's technically today. I'll see you later. Throw up the